In this video, I'm gonna do what I do best and tame the wild bush. Cut it short. Make it look good.
And who tells you it looks good?
Your mother. Your mother has told me my bush trimming's good. You know it looks good.
My yard's gorgeous.
Come with me and you'll be in a world of overgrown vegetation. This needs a big mow intro. Ooh wee! Boy, this one's overgrown, isn't it? I told you guys this one gets crazy. Those of you who have been with me a while have seen me trim this before, but I have never trimmed it quite so badly. I guess it's the wrong way. I've never trimmed it when it was quite so thoroughly overgrown. We got a lot of trees to cut out. A lot of bushes to trim. The privets are overgrown. There's two of them there. This is overgrown. All of it. It's just crazy, right? Crazy. Crazy, 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 crazy. And this is just part of it. We got the front, we got the back. It's gonna take about, I don't know, who knows, 3 or 4 hours. Okay, for this project we have the HS45, still HS45, 2 PAS attachments. They're the 2620 attachments, one with the pole saw, one with the hedge trimmers. And we are going to go ahead and start this trimming job. It's pretty wild and pretty crazy. She gets it done about once or twice a year, and we are going to do, well, a major cleanup on the bushes. As you can see, pretty overgrown. The Nandinas aren't too bad. Those are, I believe, Gulfstream Nandinas, so they kind of get tall. They look that way. We're going to knock quite a bit off and get everything trimmed back up, but we want to cut all these trees out and down as low to the ground as possible. So they're getting ready to put this house on the market, like quite a few of my clients, which will be good. I'm sure it'll sell fast for them. But we are going to clean up a lot of stuff. So these roses are looking pretty rough. We're probably just going to cut all of this out. This is all, you know, different vines and trees and weeds that have just taken over. That's looking crazy. This is a privet bush, and that's a elm tree, I believe, little baby elm. But it's just overgrown. Now coming in the back, pretty crazy. We've got this privet that's overgrown by about 3 or 4 feet, and this one's, well, it's huge. So we're going to trim it. Since she's putting it on the market, we're going to shape it. But what I'd like to do with this one is just knock it to the ground and then let it grow into a new bush and retrain it. Over here, we're just going to suck this stuff over here back to the fence, cut out all the miscellaneous stuff, and man, we got a mix of weeds. This used to be, this is lemon balm, I believe. Yeah, lemon balm. It's in the mint family. This stuff smells amazing, by the way. But this used to be a whole bed of that stuff, and then there was some catnip over here. And just over time, things get neglected. So, you know, we can only do what the customer allows us to do. I'd love to come in and clean this up and this and that, but if that's not in the budget, we're not there to take care of stuff for free. You know, I mean, I have no problem with doing charity work, but when you do stuff consistently on a weekly basis, that becomes work. And you know, it's just different. This is what we do for business, so we have to charge for it. So little sucker trees, they need to come out. Big sucker trees that need to come out. And at this point, you know, they're doing damage to this bush. And you see this, all this white stuff? Can you see it? I don't know if you can see it flying around. Those are actually aphids. They're little bugs that, yeah, oh, see them? Watch, I'm gonna touch this leaf and they're gonna go nuts. They're little white bugs. You can see them on the back of bushes and stuff. Those are aphids, and they're just not good for plants. There's a ton of them back here right now. We've got quite a few trees to cut out of there, quite a few trees here. I mean, it's just crazy overgrown. The boxwoods look okay. A little overgrown, but okay. Now over here, we've got these privet bushes, shrubs. They're taking over. So we're gonna come in and we're actually gonna cut all of these at the base. So quite a few of them. We're gonna cut them out of the base and get them out of here. And this is the reason why. When we're walking through, you just can't really use that pathway anymore. So we can shape it up and it'll look fine. But what we would have to do is, you see how tall it is? We normally do this one as a flat top, and we would have to cut it off right there. And at that point, I'm cutting off more than 50%. It's so overgrown that my hedge trimmers aren't going to be able to cut through it very easy. And they cut through some very thick stuff. But we probably have some, you know, 1 inch and larger diameter, you know, stems on there. And we just don't want to have to cut through that. So we're just going to cut it down, haul it away. And, you know, I let the customer know. She kind of gives me free range on taking care of it when I come in to make it look good. You know, we've done this year after year. You know, I believe this is like 5 or 6 years that I've taken care of her, and she knows that we're going to do a good job. So we're going to go ahead and get started. James is going to use the pole saw. He's going to go around cutting the trees and stuff out, and I'm going to start trimming. Once he is done cutting stuff out, he'll start dragging stuff up and stacking it out by the trailer, or going ahead and loading it up. It's really all up to him. One thing that I don't like at all about these 2620s is this crap. Almost always the mounting bolts come out. We got one left here, but I believe this one mounts to plastic, from plastic to plastic. I don't know, it always comes loose. And I have the other one zip tied up. And yeah, anyways, you just take it out. When this was in the shop a few weeks ago, we had this one in the shop. Actually replaced it. They replaced the whole shield because it broke from doing this. So that easy. I just hook it back in. And then I've got this. Oop. Oh, there's that, right? I got this bolt, this Torx bit, all the bolts on the Echoes or Torx. And if you do a decent amount of purchasing from your dealer, they'll give you one of these. You just ask them, hey, I need a torch bit, and they'll give you the whole thing. But it's fixed now, but it's gonna do it again. It might be because I noticed some wasps in the bushes. You might have seen me jump a couple times. But I was doing some trimming over here. I was doing some trimming in the bushes and seeing some wasps over here. But coming along, ooh buddy, look at these guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and hold off on trimming those Nandinas on that side. We'll get some spray at Home Depot. I normally carry some in the truck, but I don't believe I have any right now. So yeah, we'll stop at Home Depot. We'll get some spray and spray those out. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and trim. I'm gonna go ahead and trim what I can though. All right, it looks like hurricane damage right now, right? We're gonna get it cleaned up. James is gonna pull all this out, and then once we can see what we've actually got, we'll just cut the rest to a couple inches above the ground. I see that you left some stumps for some real landscapers to take care of. Shut up. Don't be jealous because I'm actually working, all right? Mid-job shot. All right. So it's basically just clean up in the front. A lot of it. I'll have to blow all the bushes off, rake off, and do a final touch-up pass. Down the side, we got some Bermuda. We got some Bermuda growing in through here. And we normally trim this stuff down as well. The monkey grass gets your request. There's a few different ways you can do it. You can use a machete or shears and just cut it off, or you can use a weed eater. Because she has so much here, we typically use the weed eater because it's most cost effective for her. Whew, it's a lot today. And we got another wasp nest up in this corner, yellow jackets or whatever they are. Oh, believe me, if I get close, they're angry. But yeah, quite a bit. Got these boxwoods looking better. All right, so we got to suck everything off up to the fence over there. James is pulling the debris back. He's got quite a bit of it. We may have to come back for a second trip for debris. But in that case, we're gonna get everything we can done. So I'm gonna elevate this. This is actually a privet. It looks like a tree here. This is a privet bush, what we cut down in the corner, what James is dragging up right now. So these get tall, and if you don't trim them, they'll get real leggy. A lot of bushes will get leggy if you don't trim them, and they'll look more like trees when they get older. So yeah, and we got some good old wisteria vine growing right through everything. It loves to do that. And it looks like, yeah, so the wisteria vine is actually, this is wisteria vine, and all this is going up through the neighbor's yard and up through the trees. I mean, I've seen it where, you know, it was this one client that had a property that where it was real huge. It almost looked like a tree trunk. I think what we're gonna go ahead and do is trim as much as we can, and then probably get a little break by going to the dump, unloading, and then coming back and finishing it off. All right, so we're back. The front's trimmed up. We've got to clean up the trimming still. We got kind of the bulk of it cleaned up, but as you can see, we kind of left the top of the bushes trashed out, knowing that we're coming back, and that's all right. So we're going to rake all this off, get it cleaned up, and then in the backyard we've got most of the trimming done, but there's still some more trimming. We got some rain yesterday, so didn't get to come back. It is what it is. So coming in here, we're gonna suck this back, right? Coming into the backyard, we're gonna suck this back. We're gonna cut these stumps down a little lower to the ground, and you know, same thing back here. Clean off the trimming. Overall, it's starting to take shape and look pretty good. We are gonna smack this area down with the weed eater, and then the stuff up over on the fence line, what we'll do is we'll actually just come in and cut it close to the fence and just flush it up with the fence. Now over here, this is a big brush pile from cutting down those privets. We're gonna haul all of that off and then cut the stump real low, and then we're gonna clean up the fence line, weed eat this stuff down. There's some rose bushes. I think I'm gonna take those out over there. Just a bunch of stuff. We got all the trimming here, and yeah, so normally we wouldn't leave a project like this in the middle of the project without coming back the next day, but like I said, we got rained out and it is what it is. So now we're gonna get back to it, get it cleaned up, get it looking good, get out and build a client.
Locking in a crocker shit, I'm in for my way. Seeing the same deathbed, the echoes of my pain. I can see my fusion at the right ahead. So there's a logical reason slipping from my head. Me, oh yes, I need a
Dude, I don't know what it is about the camera, but they keep getting on top. Little prairie menace. I'll set him back on top. Alright, James is getting the last little bit. We've got 2 tarps in the back, as well as 1 tarp on top that has a bunch of rose bush thorns and stuff like that in it. And then obviously, as you can see, a ton of privet. But we've got quite the transformation on the front yard, as well as the back. So let's go, as well as the back. So let's go ahead and take a look. Now, it's not perfect, but it is much, much better. Along the side over here, we trimmed the monkey grass with a weed eater. That's not the best way to do it. But it cleans it up. Now, here's the reason why it's not the best way to do it. When you do so, it's just like mowing your lawn with a dull blade. You end up with these rough edge blades, and all that's going to turn yellow. But this customer likes this trimmed, and she has so much of it, this is the best economical way to take care of it for her. And so that's what we do. Now I went ahead and edged out her stepping stones as well. And then this big privet bush, you're walking back into this gate, the privet bush is gone. So there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6 stumps there. They're gone. It was way up here where I hauled it out. I sucked this side in as well, and you can see a path now. That looks nice. Coming back, everything's got a nice shape. All the trees are cut out. Everything's looking good. Pretty clean. Everything was tall and ugly over there. This was down lower, you know, the privet bush up there that I talked about. It's lower. Much more beautiful. So it's all looking pretty sharp. Our rock areas, we weeded it down. The bushes, we gave rough shapes. And like I said, keep in mind, rough. Like there was a big tree right here and a big tree in the middle of that one. And over there's a bare spot. And there was a tree there. That's the thing, when you neglect your landscaping and you have a tree grow through it, you will end up with huge bare spots. And there's nothing I can do as a landscaper to fix that other than cut it out and let it grow back. So over here, the monkey grass, as you can see, I edged the walkway not only on the outside right here, but as well as the monkey grass, and then just trimmed it down. There was I believe a privet bush there and a mandine on the other side. We took those out, just shaped up this little burning bush. Let's see here, over on the side we took these vines, for the most part off the fence. There's still some It's not perfect, it's not pristine, but it is much better, and that's really what matters there. And then this was the monster. The big old monster privet bush is gone. So that gives that a much cleaner look. I started knocking these, I started knocking this English ivy off of the fence, but if you can see right there, boy, those little guys got mad. There was quite a few wasp nests on here. There were quite a few wasp nests at this property, not only in the bushes but up on the house and on the fence there. Now over on the fence line, we got this cleaned up, just sucked back to the fence for the most part. And then I didn't take all this down. See, all that's on their side, so I just cut what I could there to make it look better. Moving over here, we weeded down these beds. It's about as good as it's gonna get. And then over here, I have a video from last year where I actually power washed this. I'll drop a link in the description. But we weeded this down, cleaned off the stones. You know, I mean, they're jacked up. It's about as good as you can get. And then there was a little privet bush there and some roses there with a lot of thorns, heavy thorns on it. So whenever I mess with something like that, now keep in mind we still have some stuff like this. We'll be pulling these down over the next couple visits, I'm sure. Anything that's turning brown we'll clean up. But yeah, what I do with rose trimmings is I always make sure that I put them in a separate tarp, and that way we know that tarp is dangerous. So you don't want to just reach in. If you mix rose trimmings up with the rest of your other trimmings, what happens is you'll get a handful of thorns from time to time. Well, these guys are mad. Another wasp nest. But all in all, it came out really good. James, do you know what time it is?
309.
3:09. So we got here at 12. It's 3:09. So 2 guys at here, day 2. We could have done this in 1 day, but we broke it up in 2 days. That's fine because we had 2 loads. All right, so 2 guys. The first day, each of us were here for 2.5 hours. So that's 5 total man hours. And then second day, we have 6 man hours. So 11 total man hours. That's what I'll bill her for. And how much do you charge per man hour? If you get close, I might tell you. Everybody says you either charge too much or you charge too little. I would have charged $500 per dump, and somebody else would have said, you charge to dump? That stuff should be free. I don't know what to tell you guys. I just come here and I clean it up, make it look good. One more look. Let's take one more look. Okay? Let's take one more look. Okay. I consider that a win. Alright, so we're back at the dump. I wanted to show you this. You can see the pole grinder. This is why I don't have a chipper shredder. Why would I need one? Let's drag it here. It's almost free. They shred it up, drop it here, and they've got all these piles of mulch. These guys are gonna come scoop some up and move it. My loader's way bigger than it looks like. Here's my truck.